Om. 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 स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतानवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं
Swamiji, is the audio on?
Maharaj, you were not audible for the past 3 minutes, Maharaj. I thought I had an issue, but I guess it is the same with everyone.
We could hear in the beginning. Later on, it stopped.
Yes, sir. It was audible in the beginning. Later on, he was not audible.
Yeah, now is it okay? Hello, mic testing. Hello.
Yes, Maharaj, you're audible now.
Oh, okay. No problem. Yes, namaste to everybody. Very good morning. Subhodayam on Sunday, the 29th of August. We are meeting for the second time as part of the 22nd Foundation Day of Human Excellence Institute coming up on 11th and 12th of September, and also the Amrita Mahotsav of our great country, Amar Bharat Ka Amrita Mahotsav, 15th August, till next year, 15th August, 2022. So we have planned a series of events, whether it's Yuva Sangharsh or this Leadership Summit, Leadership Youth Summit, to be conducted throughout the year as much as possible, minus the festivals and holidays, etc. So last Sunday we met 4 or 5 people, and we discussed some issues with Sumita Roy and Colonel Tarun Kumarji, Pawan Deshmukh, or volunteer, myself, Prashanti from Chennai. And now let us expand, let us widen our horizon with youngsters and with elders, with people in the profession or well-wishers or faculty. The purpose, as I have sent the concept note, is to serve as a catalyst to bring together young and dynamic leaders from various fields across the nation and discuss the way forward of various issues like arts, business management, business and management, communications, community service, education, agriculture, law, architecture, culture, medicine, environment, dash, 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 dot, dot, dot. So these are some of the outlines which we have formed here, involving the youth who are talented, who are doing enormous work, who are doing exceptional work. When we see the Better India videos and Better India news, which comes almost every week, somebody somewhere in Rajasthan, somebody in the villages of Telangana or Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka or Kerala or Madhya Pradesh, somebody is doing something. But thanks to politics and thanks to negativity which is spread through the media, etc., it is their job and it is their profession that they do. But we are here to encourage, to appreciate, to recognize, to bring them onto the mainstream, which also is being done by, to some extent, by the government and by some NGOs, etc. So today, let us go a little deeper in analyzing what we can do, how we should do. If there is anything missing here, which you feel, XYZ feels in this panel, and you can suggest, we will note it down, and within the next 4 or 5 days, work together, make a list of participants, make a list of young leaders who are doing something exceptional, or elders who are doing exceptional. Bring them as webinar series. Because last year, as all of you know, we did nearly 50 episodes, 50 webinars under the title of Rebuilding a Resurgent India or Building a Resurgent India. So we invited cross-sectional people, thanks to Zoom, thanks to other apps. Very successful, very happy, very inspiring, very thoughtful. Now let us take it a little more unity in variety and bring about a metamorphosis in the society. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Let us move from darkness to light. Let us make the vision of Swamiji so fruitful, so fertile. Okay. So with that note from my side, let me invite Prashanti to give the summary of what happened last Sunday, and then we'll invite the different people to put their thoughts across. Yeah.
Namaste and pranams to Maharaj and to all other dignitaries are present here and to all my young friends whom I can see here. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity to express the initiative, Maharaj. So Leadership Summit, it serves, as Swamiji told, it serves as an opportunity to bring in various young and dynamic leaders from different fields. We have a musician, we have an engineer, we have an architect. So bringing all of them together and discussing on 2 objectives. One is how me as an individual going to contribute to the society through my field. If I'm a musician, how am I going to contribute through music for building up a resurgent India? That would be one point of discussion. And the second point of discussion would be how can we together as a community, how can engineers, doctors, and everybody work together to contribute to the society? So here we are going to focus on young leaders. as Maharaj mentioned, there are many young leaders from different parts of the country who are unsung, who are dynamic, so exceptional. So we are going to bring in those leaders into these webinars, into the panel discussions, and inspire other youngsters who are involved in VIHE and other parts. Now, last Sunday, we had a discussion with Sumita ma'am, with Tarun Kumar sir, and as well Pavanji was also there. So according to the advice given by the panel, they advise that instead of limiting it to 1 day or a 2-day summit, let us take it up as Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, as we are doing it in VIHE, the 75th year celebration for a year long. So let us take this concept, this idea throughout the year. That is the one idea which is being given. The second idea suggested by Pavanji was that we can implement this in Yuva Sangharsh. Let us take up this concept in Yuva Sangharsh for the second level or the third level when students enter. Let us take up this concept, give them certain activities on practical execution of the work and all that. So now we would love to hear from the panel here on how we can take this forward and how we can reach many youngsters and dynamic unsung personalities around the world. Over to Swamiji.
Yeah, thank you for your note, and we'll first take up Jandyala Murthy Garu, Narayana Murthy Garu from Hyderabad, who is the director of Gokaraju Engineering College, and who has been a great friend and support to us through college and by himself. So request him, he has read the note and he has got some suggestions.
Swamiji.
Yeah, namaste.
Though I missed the last Sunday's discussion, I can see the sort of direction and the spirit in which the proposals were made.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so just 1 second, sir. Sorry, sir. This nation building exercise, that's, I mean, the Resurgent India exercise last year that's been done.
Yeah.
I noticed, some of the activities I could take part in it and listen to all of them. And continuing on the same spirit in this year of 75th, as well as our 22nd Foundation Day, following those lines sounds very, very exciting actually. I have a point to make here. Young leaders are there in every field, and they are the most inspirational figures that we normally come across. And through our media, our platform, their inspiration or their activities are being encouraged and being spread over. And we hope, and they are also making that contagious sort of effect on the sort of public at large. But finally, what we say is, Yadha Raja Tadha Praja. Finally, the change has to come from the people who actually rule, who actually implement, who actually propose policies. So when the concluding part of any of these inspirational exercise should direct towards this governance part of it, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
Somehow or the other, the message should reach them. What they're doing is fine. Maybe the policy is incorrect, or the policy is right, or the implementation is wrong. So there is a need for us that we have to finally sort of thread it down to giving an input towards to the people who are in position to actually to change. And if they change, I'm positive and I'm sure the change is going to be tremendous, and it will be across the nation. So one of the suggestion is this Young Leaders Summit should also include the policymakers and the policy implementers, and whoever is actually trying to drive it, they should come up with a message or come up with an idea which actually makes sure that the governance improves.
Yeah.
I think I'll catch up with it subsequently, sir. Thank
Absolutely
you.
right. On 15th August, I incidentally met across a group in Bangalore, and also they have branches in Delhi, etc. It is called Youth for Good Governance. They work on the policies, work on the youngsters becoming policymakers and officers, etc. So when Saurabh Mukherjee and his team is leading that, and they are giving training to other youngsters in the society, in the country. So I think I can rope them up, and I invited them for some more dialogues, some more conversations on this topic. how Swamiji's ideas, our cultural ideas, our ethics, dharma can go into the future policy makers, whether they are bureaucrats or political leaders, things like that. One small incident, it happened in New Delhi when one of our senior monks, who is now retired, who is on the elderly side, he was speaking to MPs sometime back, MPs. And then after the meeting was over, he was speaking about ethics, Swamiji, Indian culture and vision, dynamism, purity, character. Then there was a press meet by the organizers and by these people. It was about 20 years back. Then the press fellows, journalists asked, do you think these fellows can change themselves, or any change can be brought about in their mindset? Whether they are MP, whether they are MLC, whether they are MLA. There was a critical punch there. And then the Swami replied, as far as the Indian tradition is concerned, the story is concerned, yes. How is it? Please give us an example. Then he gave the example of Ratnakara becoming Valmiki. Okay. Ratnakara, the terrible dacoit that he was, killing people and looting people and trying to manage his, thinking that he is serving his family. But then the turning point came when Narada blesses him and turns and he becomes Valmiki, the Adikavi, and writes the Ramayana. So if Ratnakara, such a dacoit, can be changed in Indian context, why not the MP or MLA in the present context? So something like that came to my mind. So we shall work on this, a very important point, youth for good governance. Some wonderful people are there. One Shobik Mathur, he was in Youth for Seva in Hyderabad. Then he moved on to Delhi to start his own company, his own training institute for leadership and bureaucracy, etc. He's in touch with me occasionally. I see this one in Facebook. So like that, they're young. He's just about 35 plus and he's working on this leadership at the national level. So we'll invite such people. And as you said, the policymakers also make a lot of difference in education or in sport or things like that. And Swamiji's idea should go into the grassroots level, as we pointed out. Yeah, can I request now Dr. Vivek Modi, our faculty and one of the men who is working with different groups, Samskrita Bharati, etc., to share his views on this.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Yes,
Namaskar to all. Namaskar to all. So I went through the recording of the last Sunday's session, and I think that was very helpful because that gave me some clarity about what I was looking for. So I gave some thought about it, and I also tried to see that what are my learnings with these kind of campaigns, because through Samskriti Foundation, I am there looking after something called a nation building campaign. And we are on the same line, Swamiji's ideas. We try to help youth doing something which is in sync with their career as well as something good for nation. So I look at it now from this. First of all, the lessons which I learned after doing so many such campaigns, and we recently did a Raksha Bandhan for Soldier campaign. Swamiji is well aware of it. So what we realize after every campaign is that if we are clear about what is our end goal, then that helps us in communicating with clarity to the people who are going to be part of the campaign. And the tendency of all of us, this is in general, I see, tendency of anyone who wants to do good is that we want to do so much. We want to do everything. And that dilutes the clarity, because there are a lot of vague areas, a lot of things which are not in our mind. So taking lesson from that, I feel, and this I try to implement even in Samskriti Foundation, I feel that we have to be more clear about what exactly is our role in this whole process. So taking an analogy of a tree, the important part is sowing the seed and giving the right environment and nurturing that roots develop deep. Then the stem forms and the fruits and leaves and everything happens. So I feel personally that our role is more towards sowing the right seeds and then seeing that we see that roots go deep and we can provide them some nurturing environment. So now, making it little more specific, we have a lot of youth who are connected with us. We keep doing many events, and we have connect with so many successful people who have implemented Swamiji's ideas directly, indirectly. With those ethos, they have done it. So what we can do in this is, we try to form a clear-cut thought process about what are the ethos which should go into a business process. When I say business, I'm not meaning strictly business. It could be a social entrepreneurship project of solving a particular problem. What should be the ethos, Indian ethos, Swamiji's ideas, ideas of servant leadership, ideas of Rogi Devo Bhava, Mukta Devo Bhava. If we can clearly communicate that to the people at large, not just the students, but many youth who are doing these things at their own level in their villages. And I think since online is a great medium to connect, we can actually get them. So we give them the ideas which are foundational in nature, which tell them that this should be your background. You have to be solid in the ethos part. You have to see that what is good for your organization should not contradict national interest. Like that, we create a framework. And after creating that framework, this happens with the masses, this happens with a huge audience. And then we find out people who are having some kind of inclination and who are ready to move beyond just thought process to take some action. And then we connect them to give them right environment and guidance. We connect them to people like Amitabh Kant, or Amitabh Shah, people like Sharat Sagarji, many such people we have connection.
Yes.
For the guidance. And in the guidance, we give them case studies. For example, I have, this is my personal this thing, that in healthcare sector, I want to see that somewhere Indian ethos gets inculcated.
Yes.
I teach a particular model called Arvind Eye Hospital model. I am a faculty where these courses for doctors who are going to get into management. I teach them leadership in healthcare. So in that, I teach them only that one model with great length, that how Dr. Govindappa Venkataswamy created it in his late 50s, a model where any patient can walk in and he can choose, I want free treatment or I want paid treatment. And he gets equal kind of treatment. I mean, it is equally good for both. And they are not just the largest service provider, they are also quality-wise the best service provider. So Swamiji's ideas in letter and spirit are being executed in that organization. And this is a role model. So what we can do is the youth who are having these inclinations, we can connect them to, like Amitabh Shah knows how to get funds, how to get funds of the right kind of people and create a project out of them. When we have people like this who need something, who needs to start a school in his college, in his village, who needs to do something in education field, we can connect them that Amitabhji, please guide them, mentor them. What do they need? We can tell Sharat Sagarji to take one series of 3-4 sessions to give them a structure and do it. And we see that we create at least 3 successful projects in coming time, not spreading ourselves too thin in everything, but 3 successful projects where we try to bring our all resources, focus, and create a model that see this is how leaders can be developed. And also connect the students who are little free away from their academic burden now, because students tend to get into, they work in loops. They will focus here and then the exam comes, they leave everything, they go somewhere else. So we have to see that what are their challenges and how can they also get some free kind of internship or some kind of real example. So this is the STEM part, which happens with the help of people who are connected, who are already doing, who have the experience of understanding what are the challenges at policy level, government level, how to get funds, how to get people. They know it practically, and that's their forte. That's their ideas. Yes, ethos remains Swamiji's ethos. Whenever there is a decision to be taken, whenever there is a confusion, how to deal with it, they know it. So our role should be at the growing roots and nurturing, and giving them an environment. And as we find somebody ready, connecting them to the right people, and then trying to keep nudging them now and then. What happened? What is the progress after every 1-2 months? And inviting them to connect with other people who are in the process.
Can we take like this, instead of having 20 items, let us make it 5 or 6 items and concentrate and create the team, create that kind of vibrations in them and the training in them, offer them solutions to their problems.
Yes, I am of that opinion that we should narrow it down to few. Social entrepreneurship comes one natural thing where we can tell that solve one problem at your village level and seek guidance from us, find out come up with a problem statement and then create a business model around it, which helps you to build career, which helps you to generate more employment for people, and which solves problem.
Create men and women of capacity building skills and the spiritual ideas and
Yes.
their integrity, etc. Then take it forward.
Yes.
Second way we can look at it maybe is have awareness programs for all the items that we might have listed, or we might edit some things, we might not take up everything. And then concentrate on the sideline, as you said, 2 or 3 issues, whether it's in education, whether it's in service, whether it's in health.
Yes.
Awareness goes on everywhere, but our concentration at the bottom level will be few issues, few areas.
Yes.
If we can work on that, I think we can bring in more people and then do the networking.
Yes.
That way we can think about it. We'll
Yes.
take some opinion, we'll take some more observations from others, then come back and consolidate the issue. I think that
Yes.
would be nice. Can I request Pratyusha Sharma from Cognizant and our devotee volunteer faculty to share her views? She was in IT and she was with the Cyberabad, or is with the Cyberabad Commissionerate, etc., etc. Her views on that and thoughts, or how we can take that.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaste. And nice to meet everyone, Dr. Vivekji and all with great ideas. So as Narayan Murthy Garu and Vivekji were talking and I was reflecting, I actually categorize youth into 3 big things and they are not tapped into. I agree there's Yuva Sangarsh who's trying to do many things. Lots of youth who have potential are right now going into lots of higher education, at least in whichever community. And most of them I've seen going to US, Singapore, here, there. I think there's an opportunity to tap into that community also because they have high potential. And if we have to get into their space, because the exposure is excellent into in-depth research, people who are there in Harvard, in MIT, in many other things, a lot of university colleges the youth is going into. For us to pull them in with Swamiji's teaching, I think, something like your story, their story is so powerful. If they can read Swamiji's ideals and build, and we can do something like a TED talk for them, or Swamiji's TED Talks, Ink Talks, it's very small snippets and they can do podcasts and we can bring those stories which are powerful, where they have Indian values mixing in the Western traditions, which Swamiji's really thoughts are. I think it's good to bring in that one part of the youth and we need to think. The second is, there is a lot of opportunities, Swamiji, where there is unemployment, rural youth who have no meaningful jobs, who are idling away. I think taking Dr. Vivekji's social entrepreneurship, I think there is huge thing to be done on employment and jobs. And it is not just an awareness session on how people to get employment. People who are getting into employment, the first 5 years, they're very vulnerable into many, many things. It's important, how do we get that potential in that youth of the first 5 years? All they're doing is they're becoming financially independent. They have freedom. And how do we help them to build that resurgent India? And I think last year's series was a lot of different, we gave them an exposure to different streams. But I think this year, how do we tap into that? And I'm just still thinking, keeping this 1 year series in mind, that first 5 years with an organization, there are almost 10 lakh employees. Out of 10 lakh employees, almost 50%, I would say 4 to 5 lakhs are the first 5 years youth. So that's a huge number to tap into. And I think these areas, something which we are looking at, like a Your Story or TED Talk, podcast. And also on the other side, parallelly, I see a lot of youth who are becoming CEOs, who have done startups, who are into art, who are into sports. I think bringing those together is something which we should really work on, Swamiji. I think I'm seeing a lot in that area.
True, true, true. So now what can be done is, I was just thinking a couple of days back, people speak about unemployment, people speak about what you call the getting rid of the jobs. I mean, being thrown out of the jobs due to the COVID restrictions, COVID economic disaster. But then there is a point here where when we organize a training program which is employable skills, whether it's communication skills, whether this or that, anything which is useful to the industry or private or personally, initially there are 100 people, then finally the dropouts will be there. Then it comes down to 10 people. So that inspiration to continue like the other countries, which they take very seriously, sincerely, is missing. Somewhere down the line, these free SOPs and free things by the government and by the parties, that is killing the creativity, etc. of the rural masses, and makes things very shabby for us. When we ask them to come for the training, they are already getting the money, they're already getting this facilities, and why should I come for this one? So that is a debatable and to be worked out from our side, where really sincere, serious people attend the training programs or attend such conferences and get some inspiration for them, expose them to say Sharad Babu, not Sharad Sagar, Sharad Babu in Nellore. How much work, divine work that man is doing last 20, 30 years. Or somebody, Brigadier Ganeshan in Hyderabad, through Palle Srujana, how much work is going on. He takes people for Shodha Yatra, takes people for walking in the villages, understanding the life and the culture of the village people, not just in the corporate, sophisticated capitals. Or somebody in Bangalore working enormously for, say our Shivanhalli, Ramakrishna Mission Shivanhalli. From 1984, so much of work is going on by one monk and a few volunteers. And that wasteland has been converted into really solid land as of village development. Real model is there. So there are wonderful people going on, doing the work. So as you said, we'll create a band, create a team, create a what you call width and depth, but concentrate, as Vivek said, 4 or 5 areas, practical and solvable within the given time, and contribute something from our side to the society on a solid footing at the national level or at the state level, whatever, as it goes, as the interaction continues. Okay. So with your viewpoint, noting down, and we shall invite Debashri Bandopadhyay. She is a faculty in BITS Pilani, Hyderabad campus. She is our devotee from our childhood. She has joined us live, maybe she's in Kolkata or back to Hyderabad. Debashri, yeah.
Good morning, Swamiji.
Yes.
So I'm back to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
I have listened to all the previous speakers, and my thought about this program is that we can have a broader view, as you mentioned, that we can have an awareness on different aspects and different topics, and finally it can be narrowed down to a few topics as mentioned. But I have one more observation, as Ms. Pratyusha has mentioned, that our youth are of different types, starting from very high level, those who are in the eminent schools and colleges throughout the world. There are some students or the youth who are basically doing well. And there is one more section, the youth, that is really alarming. That means they are under poverty, they are drug addict and so on. So we have that section of youth. I don't know how to, but this thought came to my mind when we are discussing Swamiji's ideas, and when we try to inculcate this idea throughout, then how can we think about them and how can we incorporate them in the mainstream? If we can include those youth, those who are basically in the off track, and basically they are contributing negative to the society. If they can be taken in the positive direction, that will be helpful for them as well as for the society. And if we can incorporate that in our next vision, that can also help.
Yeah, basically there are two, you say there are two kinds of groups.
Yes.
Who are in the elite, who are in the premier institutions, who are got the talent, but still not rooted with our traditions and culture. The second is the rural youth who are misled or misguided, or who are just creating some kind of nuisance, whose energy is misused.
Yes.
So we have to look at these two angles and arrange the programs accordingly, both in the regional languages or in the national languages, and see that their energy is utilized fruitfully for the welfare of the society, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me go to Gurugram. Ambika Thapar, who is our devotee and online student, regular, sincere, psychologist. She has started her own counseling institute in Gurugram, and she has joined. I have sent her the notes. Let's take her challenges. Yeah.
Pranam Swamiji, and my namaste to everyone, the elite, my friends, and the youngsters whom I met through webinars online. Great inputs have been put by Modi ji, Pratyusha ji, and Devashri ji. I just wanted to add on, clubbing the main aspects of the three. Two important points which I feel is important. Just taking a simple example, an apple is an apple to a normal eye, but for a visionary, it's an orchard. So I think today the first prime objective is to instigate the youth to have that vision, to look beyond the black and white of text, which is lacking. And for this, I think we need to mentor the youth today with clear programs denoting what Swamiji meant, because they read Swamiji. Few quotes, they are more verbose about it. But we want Swamiji's, a voice without form, the message to percolate into their brain sets so that they can really contribute to India from heart and soul. This is my prime objective, and I'm just not mentioning I really want to work on this as a principal. We can design 5 classes, a kind of a module where these youngsters will be brainstormed and clarity of vision will be provided, what energy is there in Swamiji's thought, so that we find them functioning. As has been mentioned in the note, we are here discussing 2030 India, what we want the youth to be, which is somewhere getting drifted in the reign of materialism. I don't say Swamiji never was against materialism. He wanted India to be a wealthy nation and the poverty to be removed. So today, +1 and +2, I find it the fertile ground mindsets where the seeds need to be sown with utmost care. And that caring hands are ours, the great people here, so that they know what exactly they are doing, so that they learn engineering with passion. And I think when we club this thought with Swamiji's idea and brainstorm them, pick engineering, pick what you are born with, the talent, but to contribute. This wave has to settle into their brain cells so that we feed them functioning. I have noticed this in the webinars of IIT, which are conducted by great teachers. They have their Vivekananda Cell Society, and every week they conduct seminars. And the result is we are seeing IITians contributing, we are seeing them turning into monks and contributing at such a great platform. So my urge, in fact, is that I really feel for this. As Swamiji said, it's more of a feel factor that is needed. I want the youth to be very clear about what Swamiji wants from them. 12th January, we celebrate our Youth Day. So I think it is not just imposition of Hinduism or ideology of Swami Vivekananda, but very clear we want to get the youth connected with heart. So a web series or a seminar module for 5 classes, picking up Swamiji's main thunderbolt ideas and make the youth energetic about it, so that we can tap the 3 youths, as you said, My target right now, I'm just targeting +1, +2, and the young engineering first, second year graduates. So that when they enter the industry, they are there to uplift India. And I think that that is what India requires, not just flying abroad, fly abroad to bring back what the West teaches us. This
Yeah.
is, I really want to do by, designing a series by VIHE. We can conduct classes, especially mentoring the youth. So,
Very nice. Very nice. We'll note down that. So let me invite now Sri Mahadevji, our devotee from Belgaum, who has joined us live from Belgaum. He is connected with us Belgaum Ashram, and through Belgaum Ashram, Chennai, he got connected with VIHE, and he has got a big networking of contacts with schools, colleges in the Karnataka and other parts of the country also. I request him to share his thoughts. Mahadev, welcome.
Audible?
Yeah. You can introduce yourself and then share your views.
I'm Mahadev Devnath from Belgaum. Actually, the last 3 years I'm associated with the Ramakrishna Ashrama. And last few weeks I'm watching this VIH's session and Swamiji's lecture, and I'm really impressed with the session, what exactly it is going on. And luckily I got the opportunity, what you have told is with Chennai Swamiji. So I organized one session with the colleges. And the last week, what we have gone through the session and listen the expertise. So what exactly VIH and what comes to this various field is very nice actually. What Modi sir also told actually that we cut down this to little lesser. Actually, we have presently 11 fields, but we don't know in which field we get the more quality students or leaders. We don't know, and it's very difficult to judge also actually. So it is my opinion. So what I think is that, and just now the madam told that actually we need to search and give some motivation talk, or we can make some sessions to the leaders who are Q1, Q2, and we can get some of the leaders and then mold it into the system actually. Presently, these are the various fields. Okay, we are thinking it, but we don't know who are the going to implement these ideas, Swamiji's ideas, and they will work seriously on this. So my suggestion is that we have some session to the colleges and even you can think of 9th and 10th standards also. So the students, we can easily get them rather than engineering. Engineering students they want to move abroad, or they want some other dreams also. Q1 and Q2 is the line which we can think, and even high school students also. And second, it's my suggestion that Yuva Sangharsh, more than 1,000 students are appeared for the first round, and hardly 10% are already qualified for the second round. It's a 2-minute session what we have gone through, and we have selected 10% of students. So even in 2 minutes, there is a very less chance what we are given to them. They are willingly join as 1,000 students. Even we can think that another 100 students can pick them from the Yuva Sangharsh for the second round, or we can get them, or we can train them.
Can you just come little closer or keep the mic little near to your mouth? Your voice is getting.
No, it's clear.
No, it's getting weakened.
The earphone is moving. That is why that fluctuation. If you can hold the earphone near to your.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can try speaking. No, it's gone.
Hello.
Yeah, please continue. Let me see.
Another 1,000, another 100 students we can get from the second round, and we can give the training to them also. It's also is a chance that we can get another 100 students, another. So we can target these Yuva Sangharsh students also. It's very well for us actually. And third thing is what I'm thinking of these sessions, we need a lot of volunteers to monitor all those things across the nation actually.
Yeah.
And for that, we need to work hard and create our action, these ideas to the action. Then we need to have some more volunteers who is looking through the and motivate and reach to the all nation, so we can get a good team. Also, one more last say, we can contact this those are doing the rural areas. So madam told that we can work on the rural areas also. That is one point we can think, and we can connect with the what you are told is the Youth for Seva or Disha Foundation. Those are the already working for the and they are spreading the message of Swami Vivekananda. So this is my few points, Swamiji.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll keep in touch. We have noted down and recorded also. Let me move to Yuva Sangarsh, one of the alumni. She participated last year online from DPS in Hyderabad, and she got connected and she will continue to get connected. Keep the touch with VIHE and Yuva Sangarsh this round also. So Lahari, can you introduce yourself? And we missed in between nearly 3-4 months, and now you come back. Fantastic, and your contribution to these events will be appreciated. Yeah.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. Thank you for your kind words. Namaskaram to all the respected members of the panel. My name is Lahari Daneti. I recently passed out of 12th grade from Delhi Public School, Nacharam. And Swamiji had asked me to contribute to this youth summit by sharing a few ideas I had. And I'm honored. Thank you for that. Listening to all these members of the panel speak has been a very insightful experience, and I've had some ideas, and listening to these speakers has helped me add on to these ideas I've had. To start with, I have thought of 3 basic ideas. One is to take up different parts of the country and its island territories and have segments in this youth summit based on them. Say we had to take up a Northeast segment, and because we have mentioned in the concept note that we have areas like healthcare, education, law, etc. We could take up a specific area like the Northeast and have a whole segment about it, and then brainstorm and have sessions wherein you would invite speakers and youngsters to highlight their aspirations from that particular area. So if you take the Northeast, we can have some speakers on tourism they'd like to see over there, education they'd like to see over there, and then some for the island territories, some for different parts of the country like the western, southern, northern, etc. That was one idea I had. And like Narayan Murthy Garu said, that it would be very helpful to have some guests with a higher profile coming in to pitch in their opinions. I think not only will it be helpful in the way that we can have some actual change makers participate in these sessions and understand what the younger generation of India thinks, but it will also help in expanding the audience because of their reach. And like Vivek Modi ji has said, that it would be very effective if we could brainstorm on problems and try to come up with solutions based on that. I thought it would be really nice if because VIHE has a very good rapport with multiple schools across the country, especially in Hyderabad too, and I've seen how much of an impact it has had on my school, Delhi Public School, Nacharam. We've had students actively take part in these sessions. I thought it would be really nice if we could reach out to schools and have them set up small clubs with a few students. I'm not very sure of the name of that sort, but a youth club of some sort, wherein it'll be easier to push through Swami Vivekananda's ideals very well too. So they can brainstorm on sessions, try to identify a few particular problems which are solvable, achievable, and then try to come up with solutions as to what they can do. And then I thought that it would also be nice to have some youth parliament sessions wherein you would have students take up roles of change makers or policy makers, and see how they would react to certain problems or situations. Most of us over here might have heard of Model United Nations, wherein students become delegates of multiple countries. We could have a Desi Indian version of that, wherein students take up different states or areas and try to come up with solutions to problems they are facing. And like Devashri Bandyopadhyay ji very rightly said that a lot of our youth right now has gone astray, especially in certain rural pockets of the country too. What we can do to bring them into this fold of Swami Vivekananda's ideas is try to give them examples of people who've made it, people belonging to their backgrounds or something. So like Prashanti Vinod, my friend, she said that, we need more stories coming in. We need to be sharing more stories with our students. India is a country full of stories waiting to be told. We have success stories everywhere and we don't even recognize them. So if we had to address these students who were, these youth who are astray, we could give them examples and stories of people from their backgrounds who've made it big, who've, despite a lot of obstacles or hindrances, achieved their goals and, made a name for themselves in society with dignity, with respect. Looking at that, because when in my generation, we count a lot on, how relatable someone we're watching is. The more we can relate to them, the more we can identify ourselves in them, and we see a part of ourselves in them, and we're like, okay, this guy did it, maybe I can too. And it inspires us. And one of our other speakers has also mentioned that a lot of us take up professions these days only because it's a necessity, not because we want to do it. I think that's a very important point, especially in my age group, 11th and 12th, like she pointed out. We need to draw in a circle, a large circle, where we can include Swamiji's ideals on, doing what's right, dharma. That is one of our country's fundamental ideals. Dharma is to do one's righteous duty. So you do what is required, and you also do stuff that makes you happy. When you have a combination of the both of them, you produce leaders and you produce citizens of a country that stays in our history books for generations. And these are some of the ideas I've had. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, we'll boil it down to a few more, to the minimum, and then concretize them and start the event, start the process as much as possible with the help of all the people. Now let me go to Gita Krishna. If you have one or two ideas how we can take this message forward. She was a volunteer and participated in many courses here in Human Excellence. Gita?
Namaste Swamiji, and namaste all the dignitaries present here. So I have one bright idea of taking education to rural India, to rural youth and children, which many of us do not concentrate more upon, except few people like Amitabh Shah or others do. So this should be done by youth. Taking education, taking the light and message of fearlessness, Vedanta, strength of Swami Vivekananda to the youth and children of rural areas, particularly concentrating more and focusing more, making this point boil in their minds and run through their veins and instill the spirit inside them. So this focal point, I always had an idea of Swamiji, and when we visited Chicago addresses, I tried my little best to do this, and then I find children being inspired with Swamiji's message. And if this continues to happen, many children across India, across nation, would be developed into great leaders and inspire others too.
Do you have, Gita, do you have any idea how it can be done? As a young girl student and young youth of India, how we can do that? Any suggestion from your side? Any thought in your mind?
Yes, Swamiji. Youth can catch up together as a group. 5 or 4 youth could do it for one region. Catch up, and they should discuss on what are the issues to be brainstormed. They should brainstorm this issue. What are the issues with the students? What are they facing? What type of problems are they facing? And then thinking of the solutions, contemplating on the solutions, what should be done in order to curtail such problems or erase such things.
Yeah.
And then put it into implementation, put this into implementation and practice on Swamiji's message. And
So
this would
you
definitely
mean
be fruitful.
some young people, like you say, for example, now 4 or 5 are there on the screen, like your
Yes,
Lahari is there, Prashant is there, you are there, Aparajita is there, Yashaswin is there. And of course, our education department is there, Debashri or Narayan Murthy Garu. So do you think you 4 or 5 can do something? I'm just giving you an idea how education at the different level, both academic and the character-based values.
Yes, Swamiji. If one aims, we can do anything, says Swami Vivekananda. So me, Prashanti, Lahari, and all others can catch it together. And we in turn inspires many others too. We do not just sit idle. We get inspired, we sit idle and we just teach and preach and go away. It's not that. So we in turn inspires other youths who are connected with us. And they also to get inspired, and they in turn help many others to get this message reach through the like greens of the country. And then this becomes a greater group, I feel, Swamiji.
Fantastic. Very good. Practical, really pragmatic. Let me go to Aparajita ji. She has seen the life in a different perspective, and she is the daughter of Mahavir Chakra, Padmapani Acharya, Kargil War hero, and now last couple of years connected with VIHE. Aparajita, your thoughts, and you went through the concept, and now what do you feel?
Namaste Swamiji and namaste everyone. I'm so honored. All the speakers before me, such wonderful suggestions. Actually, I had noted down some things in my book, but most of it was beautifully covered. What I'd like to say is identifying a specific area is so important. I've seen a lot of these leadership talks or personality development talks, and people talk in very abstract terms. Leadership as such cannot be exactly quantified, but when you say you want to inculcate a quality, and then you aspire to do something or have an area of interest, like Sir mentioned, say, he spoke of leadership in healthcare. That is one area. And then what happens when you reduce it to one area is your solutions are more practical. I would like to identify something. A lot of people say we want to serve the country, we want to write the civil services. Okay. But you know what they do? They spend all their years cramming away preparing for civil services, then become a civil servant. But till then, what else have they done for the community? A lot of them are so focused on studying for their exam. Have you gone out and volunteered? You said you wanted to, do something for your country. What did you do meanwhile? It is about, while we are trying to achieve our personal goals, what is your contribution to the society in terms of your actions? And when I ask these people, okay, tell me, when was a civil servant held accountable for something wrong that happened? Or what is wrong in the existing system of public administration? They cannot answer these questions. It starts with identifying a problem. A lot of the times, people don't identify a specific problem and see what are the areas in which, suggestions can be given. We are no experts, but at least asking the right questions. The start is from asking the right questions, even if we don't know the answers. So ideally, they have to come up with that. This is our area. Focus on that. Give solutions, not in the long term. I go to a lot of these talks and they say, education is really important. Yes, it is. But you are talking of everybody should have education. Infrastructure should be there. Both things you alone cannot bring about. So what is it on a micro level that we can do? Like Pratyusha once said, tapping into the existing sources that we have. Yes, while we work towards building better things into the future, in the current, how are we effectively using the sources at hand and tapping it? That is also very important. And another aspect is, a lot of us can sit here and talk, but how many of us have the ability to listen to the opposite side of what is being said and debate it well? I think, that being able to disagree, but put our points across with clarity. So a debate model is very important, because a lot of times I have seen, even in law school teaches you to counter, to be able to argue, to be able to challenge another school of thought. Yet most universities in India, which are social science based, there is a school of thought. We think of India from a global definition, forgetting that India's merits are underwritten by the world. We believe what US has to say about India. We believe what China's view of India is. We underestimate our own potential and stick to these definitions. So, we have to start valuing our own opinion more. Just because a big nation, declares something doesn't mean we take it on its face value. We have to value our opinion more and frame it in order to make it matter. Also, to create a blog-like, platform where youth who have these views can put it across. A lot of times growing up in school, I used to have these ideas, these discussions, but I didn't have the right group to discuss it with. Of course, I could discuss it with my family, but they're a different age group again. With the youth, my interaction, but not many people I could discuss it with. to have a setup like that, into a block system where you discuss these issues, where you bring these principles and ethics that Swami Vivekananda talks about into practical solutions, into situations that we can relate to in the present.
Yes.
That is extremely important. That level of relativity is very important, is what I think.
We can think of that blog straight away, launch it as early as possible. Good writers are there, the summaries of these proceedings, and give good questions to the students to answer, and Yuva Sangha students can contribute and have a debate over it. Prashanti, keep that in mind.
Anything towards nation building is such a wide bracket term. Everybody has something to contribute in it.
Good point.
So I think that is something we can work towards.
Yeah, we'll go to Yashaswin, who was a winner of the Yuva Sangharsh, who is also a young man going for a higher education now. And what did you think, Yashaswin? How can we take this as a young boy, young man of India into this momentum? Yeah.
Namaste Swamiji, pranams to everybody here. My name is Yashaswin. I was the winner of Yuva Sangharsh in the year 2019, then led the contest for one good year before handing it over to Prashanti, who is very ably taking it forward. Swamiji, I'll try to sort of amalgamate whatever has been said because we are coming to the end of this discourse. The COVID-19 pandemic in a way has redefined the word crisis in our dictionaries. A few years ago, the word crisis would have always meant a family problem, a neighborhood event, or maybe a terrorist attack on the country. But now when a global pandemic has brought about its unprecedented self, it has no bias towards a region, state, country, or religion. And in this way, probably the most important thing right now is leading in and leading through a crisis, which the COVID-19 crisis has put forward the fragility of crisis leadership in our country. There have been dark times, but there is also a silver lining that's called resilience of the humankind and its ability to cope with and work around the crisis. So maybe one needs to understand what kind of leadership is required right now. All of us probably think that leadership is something that one can sit towards the top and someone who holds accountability. This is a classical definition of corporate leadership, but leadership is about action. It's about mobility, which mobilizes a group of people to solve a problem that may be related to COVID-19 or maybe plaguing the society as large. And some countries have been very proficient at doing something of this sort. And when at a time when political circles, business circles are abuzz with talk about COVID-19 in a country, maybe a few of us should have stopped and thought about how this model can help aid itself. And these discussions, the sad part is these discussions stop at a tweet or a Facebook post, but there's no active intent to bring about discourse and bring in as many people into this discourse that is needed. Maybe so now my work with dexterity. In dexterity, we term leadership as contributing with leading or contributing with whatever minimal expertise that one may possess. So it's about bringing in a discourse about leadership and bringing in a lot of people into leadership. Of course, Yuva Sangharsh is doing that, and maybe we could have Yuva Sangharsh students, students like Lahari, Prashanti, who can take this actively across age groups, cutting across demographies. And maybe when in a leader, when this discourse is brought about, there can be a paradigm shift in how our countries work and how we can look about, because the task is of course by itself an overwhelmingly large task, let us acknowledge that. But we as the youth of the country cannot wait for the powers to act, and bringing about change is what lies within us, and be the change that you wish to see in this world.
Yeah, fantastic. Very good points. So now let us just go back to Narayana Murthy Garu and find out what he has heard and how does he analyze the situation today. Where can we, where is the launching pad? Narayan Murthy ji?
Yeah. So before I continue, I just want to all of us to remember that all these action plans, we would like to see the results in this year, at least part of them, that is 21-22. And this pandemic still continues. So we will be limited the way we act. So whatever plans we do, we still have to sort of think that it's going to be sort of through webinars, through sort of, physical action is going to be limited a bit. So the plans requires to be formulated, keeping that in mind, number one. And I still feel the areas that have been listed, it is still sort of beneficial to cover all of them in bringing up the awareness, in recognizing the contribution, in recognizing the leaders, and they become inspirational. So we still have to go through and also take those two or few actions, what Dr. Modi ji has suggested, like the health sector, the education. And in the education, I still feel transforming the teachers also is essential. So focus on transforming the teachers, bringing the right kind of values and how they should show the light, and transforming the students as well. Taking the education to the rural area, like some of the people have suggested, it still is limited because the action plans might be difficult for us to put into action in this season. So we will be limited in sort of making plans or making people to aware more than in on ground, bringing about some change. I don't know. I still feel we have to work very hard to bring that.
Yes. Can we select some areas and give some responsibility to the present team? Say a couple of youngsters are there, you as advisor, you as a support, Modi, Lahari and all that young people, or Devashri in education, in teaching. Can we allot some responsibilities now and see that in the next 4 or 5 days, something is brought about, some basket will be full of some things, both men and ideas?
I still have to, I mean, immediately nothing is striking me, sir, but certainly I'll come up with something shortly.
Okay. Modi ji, your thoughts? Can we allot some duties now to some people and then responsibilities and how they can rope in ideas and make our basket more strong?
Swamiji, I feel we need to, before allotting the responsibilities, we need to have some little more concrete idea about what is the exact plan. And I could think of one after having so many wonderful inputs. That let us say we have a series of talks. First discussing about what are the fundamental ethos which should be part of any problem solving method, where we maintain Indian ethos, Swamiji's ideas, and we can solve. So let us say a series of 8 or 9 or 10 talks, which fundamentally talks about ethos part, that this should be there. Not just talks about ethos, but also give a small case study that look at this, they are doing this. So this happens from the people who have done something, like Shanta Biotech is there, or some Varapsa Reddy can come, or somebody like Charat Sarvadi, or any of these. They talk about ethos plus a model, which is actually delivering based on this ethos and what are the benefits. In our contributor series, we talk about trust surplus, human excellence, human concern, excellence in work and responsibility. Similarly, we can have this fundamental ethos. And after that, once that ethos part is settled, and we frame it as a questions, okay, why it is important to have Indian ethos built in the system. And then maybe a small summit for all the doctors. I remember we had it a few years back. All the doctors came and it was really very successful. Where we talk about in COVID pandemic, now this is a hot issue. Lot of negative opinions have built because of various kind of practices about healthcare system. And we saw the attacks on doctors, hospital, and bills going in lakhs literally just for PPE kits, charging lakhs of rupees. So this, how it is affecting the larger industry. Doctors need to understand that. Not doctors, but hospital management people need to understand it. why should we just copy one model? I really like what Aparajita ji told, that why should we just look at ourselves from Western model? Because that is actually not letting us come frankly with our own ethos. So we give them a proper, we answer their 8 or 10 questions in the first series of talks. Then we come about that, okay, we are going to take 1, 2, 3 projects. Okay, who are the doctors who would like to participate in this, or who are the people from, let's say, rural side who are working, who would like to solve one problem of the rural side. It could be farmers' problem, it could be education related. And if we find there somebody who is really putting his heart and soul into solving that problem, then we give them access to some people who know how to do it, who know how to create systems, procedures, how to get funding for right people, how to train people. So we try to give another series of talks by those people. They solve next level of specific questions. For example, I want to do something, but I don't have money. So, okay, we bring somebody who can say that, see, this is how you can get funding. These are the things you require. So we give them specific solutions with case studies.
Yes.
And then the last thing, third version of series could be where we provide them mentors who can guide them. So these mentors are again people like Mohandas Pai, people like this, who can guide them now and then, once in 2 months, once in 3 months, just a discussion, just a so that frames a proper structure, solid ethos with correct problem solution model, and then implementation related mentoring.
Very good, very good. So one of the points which Pratyusha mentioned, she had to leave for another meeting, is this very interesting point, where observation is very good. People are not thinking big or dreaming big. Swamiji said, dream big, but the society is conditioning them to think small and incremental. There is a big gap in the mindset and thinking also. We should focus on this. That's a very important point. For expansion is life, contraction is death. Vikasita Vyaktitva and Kunchita Buddhi, that contracted mindset. That is where explosion takes place. That is where stagnation takes place. And that leads to enormous psychological problems and moral problems and damaging the ethos of the society, of the dharma by itself.
Yes.
So if we can, through our programs,
Swami, there is already in contributor personality, we have 2 chapters. Contributors' vision of success and contributors' vision of career. It exactly talks about these things, that how big should be your vision and how should you look about your career. So we can actually make some talks on this. My only submission here is, we must see that if we are doing talks or seminars, they must solve some specific problem which is not being addressed in the way, because if pep talks and TED talks, there is a plethora of it. A lot of them are really good on internet. So we must differentiate it in suggesting that this is something specific and this is something really deep, which means business, and not just some more talks. That is.
Let us go back to Chennai, where we started this program, and let's see what she has absorbed and how she can send this message across.
Definitely, Maharaj. I mean, the idea is very broad, that one side we have this practical execution where youngsters need to go on field and work, as one of the speakers mentioned, working on the rural development, giving opportunities to those children. So that is going to be one side. Another side, as Lahari was mentioning, MUNs, youth parliaments, where other part of the society can be covered in this aspect, Maharaj. So we will just make a summary from all the speakers for the points what they have covered, and maybe we can launch it, Maharaj, as you were mentioning, in 5 or 6 days after getting the advice further from Narayana Murthy ji and other speakers here. We can launch it, and then we can take it up as a series of events for 1 week. So we'll have like an inauguration, and then we will take it up as different verticals, allocating different volunteers. YS alumni is there. We have other young volunteers.
As Aparajita mentioning, kind of a blog.
Yes, ma'am.
Summit for this next 1 year, if we can launch it as early as possible, and then invite opinions, invite ideas, invite suggestions, and on question answer session between students between advisors or between experts and the younger generation can be introduced. That can become
Actually, even we can take up the practical execution part, Maharaj.
yes.
Getting into the villages and reaching them out. Even that we can work out.
We can keep writing there, inviting the people in the country to contribute to that. You can contribute. Geeta will contribute. Aparajita from her angle, or Larry will contribute. Yashaswin will contribute. Sharat Sagar, like that. We have a wonderful team, no doubt about it. But then put it into different topics, and that can be a good momentum, like having a newsletter, having a blog for the next couple of seasons, and see that we can take this message forward. Narayan Murthy ji, next Sunday is initially Teachers' Day, 5th of September. Okay. And subsequent to that is our Foundation Day and Chicago Address Day. Next Sunday, can we take up something from the teacher's point of view and the youth point of view? Bring about in education in a kind of a boiler, a kind of oven where good ideas can be discussed in short terms. Do you think it would be nice?
Certainly, sir. Certainly, Maharaj. In fact, it's appropriate because it happens to be Teachers' Day as well. So it coincides with that. I think to start with it, I think this is a nice idea to start the program as transforming the teachers.
Yeah, because you are a professor, Debashri is a professor, Modi is a professor, and others are there who are contributors in one way. And we can invite some more people who could not join today. Talk to the students, talk to the teachers, create a good message from all over the country. People from Delhi or teachers from Chennai or Kolkata or Bangalore, they can join us and have a brainstorm session and concretize certain ideas and apply it for the next 1 week, 10 days, and come back with good examples, case studies like that. Yes. Right? So that will be a very interesting occasion. Somebody else is joining us. Who is that? For a minute. Anyway, Yashaswin, where are you now? In Delhi or in Hyderabad or in mid area?
Swamiji, I'm in Hyderabad right now.
You are in Hyderabad, okay.
Yes,
and
Swamiji.
incidentally, for the news of everybody, today Prashanti's birthday, our volunteer, and we wish her birthday, good wishes, strength, peace, joy, and everybody can say a few one word to her. Ambika from Gurugram. Unmute and
प्रशांति जन्मदिन की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और you have been a great motivator and you are a promising leader, I see, representing India at an international level. This is my prayer and blessings for.
Thank you so much, ma'am. In fact, that is my aim as well, to become an IFS officer. Thank you so much.
Yashaswin, to your YS alumni.
Yes, Swamiji. Many more happy returns of the day, Prashanti, of course. I see a very dynamic upcoming leader in Prashanti who's rooted in spiritual values, someone who can take this across to the world forum. That's my wishes for Prashanti.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Like, he is an inspiration to almost everybody in YS, Maharaj. Definitely.
Geeta can give her greetings.
Happy birthday, Prashanti, and best of luck to your future ventures. That's all.
Thank you, Geeta. That's so cute. Maharaj is so embarrassing to me.
No embarrassing. This is a family.
Definitely.
Devashriji, you are a faculty, you are a teacher of engineering college, BITS Pilani, very prestigious. Give her your blessings.
Happy birthday, Prashanti. So I see a very dynamic and bubbling personality in you. I think you will carry on Swamiji's ideas and inculcate into the future generation. And Swamiji's blessing will be with you. So carry forward and many more happy returns of the day.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very good. Narayan Murthy garu, you are like a father, elderly person.
Janmadina Subhakangshalamma. May all your wishes come true. May you be the change master. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. Modi garu.
May you be blessed by Swamiji. May you be blessed to realize your potential on the right path. May you stay there and fulfill all your dreams and bring glory to your family and to our country.
Thank you so
very
much.
happy birthday.
Mahadevji from Belgaum. Belagavi. Alva?
Many happy returns of the day, Prashanti, as you are doing a lot of good work with Swamiji's, yeah, and your all dreams comes true very soon. All the
Thank you
best.
so much, sir. Thank you so much. Pranams.
Her colleague last year online contest, Lahari.
Happy birthday. Have a great day and year ahead. I've had the pleasure of working with Prashanti on multiple projects and segments last year of the Yuva Sanghars, and she's been an excellent leader. She's always very patient with all of us, and she tries to bring out the best in all of us, and that's something I definitely look up to. And congratulations for her very bright future ahead. Have a fantastic day and year ahead.
Thank you.
Aparajita, you'll be meeting her after 12 o'clock also, right?
No, yeah,
Happy birthday, Prashanti. I don't know why she hasn't told me. We have been in constant touch past few days and she didn't even tell me. But look at this girl, she's even working on her birthday.
Yeah.
And
that is
How
treat
national,
yourself.
national level, not just Mambulam in Chennai. It has become a national level. Belgaum, Gurugram, Hyderabad.
Yeah, Maharaj.
You have to take out some time for yourself today and treat yourself. You deserve that.
This is the greatest treat, Aparajita, like being amidst a lot of inspirations here. So what more can I get on a birthday? Definitely.
You have so
Tulsi
many
has
blessings
joined
and best
Tulsi.
wishes with you. Have a
Thank you
great year
so
ahead.
Thank you so much.
Tulsi,
Thank you so much,
before,
ma'am.
I think, yeah, Prashanti can leave now. She has got another meeting in Chennai. And
Thank you.
Aparajita also will leave because she is, I think, one of the judges of today's contest in Chennai. She will join from Hyderabad and we'll meet later. Tulasi, you have joined a little late, doesn't matter. But if you have got any idea how to take this message forward of leadership summits, you can share a minute thought. You can introduce yourself also, Tulsi. Tulsi Kapoor. You can unmute. Yeah. Tulsi, you're unmuted. You can speak. Are you there? Tulsi is online, but maybe not getting connected. Yes. Okay. We'll see. We'll talk to her later. So nice interacting with all of you. So next Sunday we'll meet again. In the meantime, all of you can send your thoughts in writing also for our record and what you have observed for better clarity and better focus. We'll save it in the file. You can send it by email, and then recording also is there, and invite some more like-minded in the next couple of days, even for a short time in the evenings or mornings. Larry, what are you doing now? You're working, you're studying, going for higher studies? We missed track.
Yes, Swamiji, I am trying out a few courses on the internet and I'm trying to update my skill set. I will be joining college shortly. I just haven't decided which one. I will be taking up engineering, and we're looking out for colleges right now. Meanwhile, I'm reading a lot of books. I've been waiting for this time of the year. We've had exams all along, so I was waiting for them to be over so I could buy some nice books and start reading. So I'm doing exactly that. I'm playing my piano after a long time.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it feels nice.
Yeah, music always relieves the pressure and keeps the water flowing. Fantastic. Okay, couple of students. Tanmayi, are you there quickly? Tanmayi is an engineering student. Last year she participated in this one. She disappeared. Bandwidth is very. Tulsi, are you there again? No. Okay. So Murthy garu will keep like that, and Modi ji will work on these parameters which you have suggested with your help and support. Tulsi, you can unmute and speak. Are you able to unmute? Audio. Tulsi has to unmute and speak. What is happening? unable to speak. Mic isn't getting connected. Okay. You send your thoughts on this one in chat box, or we'll take it from you a little later. So in this couple of days, today Sunday ending, Monday, we have got time till Sunday to invite a couple of teachers and things like that. Have a conference at the time, etc. We'll decide, because some schools may have online meetings for their Teachers' Day, and we will see if it is in the afternoon or in the evening, where we can organize a small teachers meet with a couple of students from different cities connected with us. Maybe from Belgaum, Mahadevji will arrange a couple of teacher students. Gokraju teacher students can join, at least 5-10, like that, where various people can join us. Geeta Krishna is connected with AV College, and she can get in some teachers or students. So we'll have a discussion panel and commemorate Teachers' Day from that point of view. Excellence in teaching, excellent in communication, excellent in our educational system, like that. And set the ball rolling for next Sunday, and 11th of September, Vivekananda's Chicago Address Day, 128th anniversary. We are having a 2-hour program, 10:30 to 12:30. It is a kind of webinar, and Dr. Balasubramaniam, who is almost a case study for us, who has joined the Prime Minister's team of Capacity Building Commission. It was announced by the Prime Minister on 15th August during his speech. So Balasubramaniam has been shifted from Mysore to New Delhi now, under the care of the Government of India, Prime Minister's team. So 8-member team of educationists and intellectuals have joined the Prime Minister team. So they are building up the capacity for training the IAS officers, training the policymakers, bureaucrats in all central government offices in the country. It's a very innovative session. Balasubramaniam will join us from New Delhi on 11th, speak for 30 minutes, and then we have interaction. We have Anshul Chaturvedi. I wish all of you would read his practical book. His personal experience from New Delhi is joining, Times of India editor, Metro Plus supplements. At the age of 17, he came across Swamiji like Lahari and Tulasi, Tanmayi, and Yashaswin and others. Now he's 48, and I'm amazed to read the transformation, the change, right deep inside the subconscious mind based on Swamiji's teachings. His ego, his work culture, his fearlessness, fear of death, everything swept off. So he has analyzed some areas where we have not touched Swamiji, especially the letters, where he conveys his what you call agony inside, and then the positive side of life, his faith in that supreme divine cause that he has gone to America, the suffering that Swamiji went. So it's a very comparative, beautiful book. I'm reading that e-book I'm reading. So he has also agreed to talk on 11th September. That will be a 2-hour session, 10:30 to 12:30. And in the evening, 3:30, we go to Tank Bund physically, where Vivekananda statue is there in Hyderabad, and garland that and invite a couple of people to talk. I've just, it flashed in my mind, say a common man should be invited, common people, an auto driver, a GHMC sweeper, a policeman, a vendor on the roadside. They will come and offer their tribute to Swamiji, offer some flowers, get his blessings. That is where the real India is neglected. And calling an IAS officer, IPS officer as chief guest is all okay. But then I am planning this time for a few minutes to call these people who are contributing to the cleanliness and health of our society, and they will also participate. I invite all of you who are in Hyderabad to join that and spread the message across. That will be 11th. 12th, of course, Chief Justice of India, then our General Secretary of the Order, Vice President Maharaj of the Order, our Adhyaksha Maharaj of Hyderabad Math, and myself. And 12 o'clock, we have Vijay Menon, our faculty since the last 12 years, an academician with eminent industries and IIMs in country. He is joining from Kochi live. He will speak on the triangle of life, youth, growth, and truth. It will be an interesting session for 45 minutes interaction. That will be from 11 o'clock to 1. And in the evening, we are inviting all our faculty, volunteers, devotees, well-wishers, some contributors of values for human excellence, both monetary and ideas. We invite them for a meeting. That's how 11th and 12th will go on. So from there, 12th onwards, we will launch this event in a very big way, both practical and discussion also. Okay. So Tulasi said young people have a limited voice. She has sent a nice chat message, I think. I'll read out before we end the session. Yeah, Tulasi incidentally completed 12th, or she is in 12th, right? Young people have a limited voice in meetings. A young person, it can be intimidating to speak up in a group of adults, especially since young people are often outnumbered in meetings. Once they are at the table, it's important to create an environment of respect that allows their voice to be heard. Making the meets appealing to young people can help them gain interest in the meet, and they can further be helpful to spread the message around the globe. Fantastic. Larry, is it your support? You vote for that? Or do you, you're also the same age. Tulasi participated in 2 years before you in our Yuva Sanghars from Bhavan School. She is done with 12th. She is going into the graduation. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah.
I agree with her, Swamiji, and she has a very good point to make. Bringing in our age group could be a major catalyst for all the plans we've had, every idea we've had so far. So attracting that audience and cultivating their interest in Swamiji's life. Like I said, my journey with everything has been a bit before Yuva Sangharsh, after Yuva Sangharsh thing. And I wouldn't want to exaggerate, but the impact that Swamiji's addresses, his ideals have had on me is tremendous. I was searching through my grandfather's old bookshelves, and I happened to stumble upon this tiny copy of his address to the Parliament of Religions. And I don't remember everything about it. I do remember the kind of impact he had on the audience that day. They were so roused with just our brothers and sisters. He had the ability to channel all his energies, and everything he spoke, he meant it. And I think an audience finds that more relatable and impressive than anything else. So to channel our energies and say what we truly mean to an audience and a generation that values honesty more than anything in today's day and age, Tulsi has definitely got a point there.
Very good, very good. Tanmaya, you joined late, but doesn't matter. For a minute, you share your thoughts, how this entire momentum can be taken forward with the help of experience and enthusiasm. We have both here in front of me. We have all of you youngsters. We have experienced people, Modi, Narayana Murthy, Debashri, Mahadevji, as our support, as your support for ideas, for guiding you. What do you think? You are into engineering second year. What do you think of how we can take this in the next 6 months?
Firstly, namaste everybody. Sorry for abruptly leaving. I had an issue with my system. So coming to the topic, I think like Lahari has said, my journey has also been pretty much before Yuva Sangharsh and after Yuva Sangharsh. I have been associated with the mud before, but I think Yuva Sangharsh has helped me come a little more closer. So contests like these definitely help young children come closer to Swamiji's mission, because this will give them a first-hand experience of what we're exactly trying to put out. So they will themselves feel the change once they're into these contests. And again, we've already taken up the Sunday webinars with people from the academia. So that is also a great idea to reach out young people. If we can cover more topics, more relevant topics of what the young people are actually facing these days, then I think we'll be able to pull in more and more people, because definitely there'll be a lot of people who will be here to get self-help. So I think, yeah, that is my opinion, Swamiji. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. It's noted, recorded. It will streamline it and put it into the blogs that we have thought of and publish it so that more and more can contribute, participate, and get to know. That's also very important. So we come to the end of this interesting meeting, interesting brainstorming session, last 1.5 hours. Time flies. Can we just take a concluding remarks from Narayana Murthy ji and Modi ji?
First of all, Swamiji, it's really exciting to listen to these Yuva Sangarsh, both the winners, participants, and,
you know, that concept before and after, that thrills me. That
Yeah.
I've seen n number of people talking about it before and after, and how did it affect them? How did it change them? Fantastic! I'm inspired.
I normally tell people, especially the youngsters, like Tulsi said, they are not exactly intimidated. They have been coached not to open their mouth. So I normally tell people, have an opinion and have guts to express it. Please develop that habit, you know. So this platform or our movement definitely gives them a chance.
Yes.
And I'm quite happy that some of the points that have been discussed, I just want to see them into action and into reality. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Modi ji.
Yes, Swamiji, I quite echo with what Murthy sir just said. Actually, looking at, I remember Yashaswi, I was judge at that time in one of the events of Yuva Sangarsh, and now I can see that transformation. And in fact, many times we get little skeptical that what will happen with just debates and just this. But here we are seeing the change. And there is enough evidence now that how these ethos are being carried out by these young leaders. So that is very, very encouraging. And now all these young leaders are our role models for others to get inspired and do something even more concrete, even more deeper. So
There's a lot of hope, lot of optimism now.
Yes.
It's a new team that we have developed last 5-6 years. We'll call them again, put them on this task next couple of days.
Yes.
Maybe even we will meet for 5-10 minutes, listen to them and take and they are the, like, you know, the nails on that calendar where we can hang the message of Swamiji. They will take it on their responsibility, right?
True. That's what, this is what has come after a lot of manthan. Some Amrit has come.
Yes. Really, really. Very good. There's a bright example. Yashaswin going to the Ashoka University now, Larry going to higher education, Tanmay already in star. But at the same time, they have been beautifully creamed, nicely toasted, roasted in my language during the contests. And we are into the second round now. Already brilliant minds from Chennai, from Delhi, from Kochi. Brilliant students are joining us. Only we need to groom them, and some wrong conceptions, some fine tuning can be done. That is where you people can support us in the next couple of events, second round, third round, and take the message forward. That will be a very good session. We shall conclude. Thank you very much. Namaste to everybody, whether Devashri, Ambika, Geeta, Yashaswin, and all the youngsters, Narayanamurthy and others for their time. And if you can send a few points online by email, we'll save it in our file so they're easy for us to refer and launch a blog by the youngsters. Okay, I'll give them the time. Larry and others, you have got little time, and if you can design that blog nicely, and Tanmay and all, Geeta also is there, Ambika and others can join, Yashaswin can join, and we can launch that on 12th September, the blog. Before that, prepare the notes and the rules, etc., and make it interesting. Okay. So thank you very much. Namaste. We shall end with a small prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om. Namaste, Shubhadinam, and tomorrow Krishna Janmashtami. My prayers to the Lord, Gitacharya and the great avatar, to bless all of you in this spiritual journey and make our events also successful. Mahadevji, thank you. Valledagli, and give us your inputs more and more, and connectivity with entire Karnataka institutions.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.